Hey guys, so I was getting ready to get up and go take my lunch break today at work, and I happened to look over and see my monitor that has YouTube on it, and I saw this video. And it's from a guy named Lucky Ghost. And Lucky Ghost has like 100,000 subscribers. He's clearly a very, very successful YouTuber. He knows how to title and thumbnail his videos to make them clickable and make you want to, watch those videos. And as soon as I saw it called Ashes of Creation Has a Problem, the thumbnail was awesome. I said, "Oh, I have to watch that." So I rushed home for my lunch break so that I could watch this video. And while I was watching it, I immediately knew I'm going to have to make a response video to this tonight because while the video is fantastic, I think that it's just wrong in general. And so I wanted to make a response because he says in the video that he made the video because he wants Ashes of Creation to be successful. So he wants to start a conversation about a problem that he sees, which I totally respect. So I am not going to like play the entire video and stop it and give my point by point rebuttal. That's not what I'm here for. It's not a reaction, it's a response. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put a link to the video in the description below. I highly suggest you guys go over there and watch it. It's a great video. Give Lucky Ghost a subscribe if you're not already subscribed to him. He seems like a really good dude. The video is outstanding. I just think that it's wrong. So the main thing that it's the hardest part for me to get over when it comes to this video, and I have several little problems with it, but I'm not going to go into all those, really just two. But the main thing is that the entire video is built on a faulty premise, and so everything that he comes up with ends up kind of not being valid because what he starts with is wrong, and the original premise, the thing that he builds everything else on that's not correct, is that Ashes of Creation's flagging system, PvP flagging system, is a one-to-one recreation of the Lineage 2 flagging system. And it's not. Now, it's close. It's really close. It might only be like a 1.5 to 1, or maybe even a 1.1 to 1 recreation, but it is different. And it is in those little subtleties that the differences are going to make all the difference and take away the things that he talks about later in the video. So he's building it on experience, and I was there too in Lineage 2, so I know what he's talking about. And he's saying because the flagging system is the same as in Lineage 2, this is what I experienced in Lineage 2, and so this is what Ashes of Creation will be right. And if the original statement was correct, then yeah, he'd be right, but it's not. It's a different system. One of the things that he spends quite a bit of time talking about is the you could be in a dungeon, an open world dungeon, getting ready to pull a group of mobs or maybe a boss or something, and there could be another group that's just waiting on you to do it. And as soon as they do it, they, instead of attacking you, they CC your tank. And then once your tank is CC'd, then, you don't have anybody holding aggro, and then the mobs or boss is going crazy, and then they're jumping in too. And so once they CC your tank, you're done. Well, that he didn't know, and Steven actually responded in the comment section of his video and let him know that in Ashes of Creation, if you're not flagged as a combatant, no one, the other people can't CC you. You have to be flagged as a combatant before CCs work. So that one little thing that he kind of spent a big amount of time talking about actually isn't true. And as he goes through the video, a lot of what he is suggesting just wouldn't work. Like one of the things he talked about was having an alt that's just a PK alt, and it's just red, and it doesn't matter. It just shows up to kill people, and then it doesn't. They don't care if it ever goes unread, if it ever gets uncorrupt. But that's because he doesn't know that in Ashes of Creation with the corruption system, the more red you go or the more corrupt you get, the worse your character performs, to the point that you wouldn't even be able to kill anyone. He talks about higher level players ganking you. Well, in Ashes of Creation, the corruption system, you get more corrupt if you're attacking players who are far lower level than you. And all of these things that they've built into the game, it's not a one-to-one recreation of the Lineage 2 system. It's taking the Lineage 2 system, specifically looking at where it failed and then trying to address those things. Now, is it possible, or even extremely likely, or even 100% guaranteed that people are going to figure out a way to game this system as well? Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I just don't think it's going to happen in the way that he lays out, because they've specifically gone, taken steps to stop those things. So that the premise of the whole thing is flawed. But let's say for a second that it's not flawed. let's say that he is actually right and it is a one-to-one recreation. Let's say that that's the case. They haven't changed a single thing about it. This video is also ignoring what has happened so far in the Ashes of Creation developments time. One of the things that I admire the most about Steven is that for a successful person, because successful people struggle with this, he does not marry himself or his ego to his ideas. If he releases, I don't know, let's say a pretty crappy dwarf model, and the community, has a collective meltdown over how bad that dwarf model is, Steven doesn't go, well, that's the idea that I had in my head, so you guys can just, deal with it. That's not what he does. They go back to the drawing board and they find a better model. The what they've done over time with the combat is the same thing. It started with, the apocalypse combat, and then we got what it was when Alpha 1 started, because it was a big change from there to there. Then they let us kind of choose between the two at the end of Alpha 1 so that we could, pick which one, and then they've iterated on it since then, and they're showing it to us and asking us questions and wanting to iterate on it now. And that is the biggest strength of this game, is the combination of the fact that Steven has not married himself to these ideas, and there is no publisher, there is no one above Steven that's coming down on high and telling him how he has to make the game, not letting him make the changes that he wants to make. So we're going to get into Alpha 2, and maybe Lucky Ghost is correct. Dude, maybe you're right. Maybe everything you claimed is exactly what happens. I don't think for even a second that Steven is just going to sit there and let that happen. That's not his vision for the game. One of the things that he kept having, Lucky Ghost kept having throughout the entire video, it just kept flashing on and off the screen like every 20 seconds, was being anti-PvP, or I'm sorry, being anti-griefing is not the same thing as being anti-PvP. He's saying, hey, look, I love PvP. I love open world PvP, but the people who make it, grief with it, that's where I have a problem with it. And I think that's correct. That's exactly correct. And I think that's exactly what Steven's plan is. He wants to allow open world PvP. He wants to put a sense of danger in everything you do, but make the system punishing enough that you're not going to just actively grief all the time. And that's the whole idea of the game. It's open world PvP without the griefing. So in the end, we're going to find out who's right on this, whether people will actually show up for a full open PvP game or not. I think that with the system in place, there won't be that much just pure griefing and ganking and problem causing in that way. I think it's going to be used more to settle disputes. Somebody trash talks you. Okay, well, it's worth 2 hours of grinding time, to grind away my corruption. To get to kill you, that sort of thing. So I don't think that it's going to be the problem that Lucky Ghost thinks it's going to be, but we're going to find out. And that's really all I have for the video, guys. Lucky Ghost, again, I subscribe to you, man. The video was great. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to start a beef. I just, it was one of those things where you don't follow the game as closely as the rest of us, and so you don't know these things. And to be fair, you cover a lot of games. The only thing I cover is Ashes of Creation, and there's still crap I don't know. So it's not like you did anything wrong. I just wanted to make this reaction video. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.